get to that because that's the first thing we're talking about. And we're live, people. Apologize. I ran in and oh man. Thank you for joining us in the show. And I apologize for coming in late. So, thanks for watching. With me, of course, always is Mr. Lou Rod, who, of course, you've been chatting with in the chat. Thank you, Dustin. Thank you, Derek 11. Who else? Yuzeli Perez. Everyone. So anyway, let's jump right in because I'm more than 50 minutes late. So,
well,
there's the movie notes.
Put this trailer in there, but I think we should just kick off with Ant-Man.
I think we kick off with trailers. No. We're kicking off with the most important trailer,
which was what?
Solo.
You think Solo?
Solo, a Star Wars story. It's the biggest. It's the one everyone's talking about. That's social media buzz right now. That's it. You gave your reaction. So if you want to see our reaction for that, check out Lou's reaction on Boored, which is our entertainment-centric channel. We've got our reactions. We've got reviews up there on the channel. Lou's been cranking them out, so thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. Lou gave his reaction. He liked it.
And remember how I said I did not care for this movie. I don't care for these. Like, I enjoyed Rogue One. I like what they did there. But when they announced a Han Solo movie, I was like, why? Who cares about a Han Solo movie? And then I'm not a big fan of Alden Ehrenreich, but, I'm sorry, but Donald Glover was on point.
See, okay, here's the thing. So I saw Sam earlier, and we were talking about it. And Sam stated that he enjoyed the trailer. I liked the trailer visually. Ron Howard is going to direct a good movie. It's Ron Howard. We can expect something solid from him. When I saw the trailer, I saw Lando. I was like, that's Lando. You know what I mean? When you see Childish in that role, granted, I like Childish Gambino, but I felt oozing the presence. I did not feel this presence from Aldrich at all. I did not feel Han Solo. Han Solo is my favorite Star Wars character. I grew up with Han Solo. I did not like Luke Skywalker.
But
to me, Luke Skywalker was.
Let me ask you this question: do you feel, because it's the way Harrison Ford played the character through the years, and how he made him an icon, somewhat? Because I'm with you. Not that Han Solo was my favorite character per se, but it's like, some of these people, I don't want to see them in younger forms because they're still alive.
No, let me give you a prime example. Captain Kirk. Okay? Chris Pine owns the role. He does not play it like the original Captain Kirk. Same thing with Spock. It does no, it's not even a matter of universe. It's a matter of portrayal. Because remember, Spock is actually more similar, right? They're a little bit closer. But the way he portrays Kirk against William Shatner's Kirk, it's not, he doesn't sound the same because William Shatner always goes, yes, I would like to check things out. That's how William Shatner spoke. But Captain Kirk, aka Chris Pine, the presence of Kirk was there. That's what I want. I don't want you to behave the same way or have the same proper mannerisms. I want to look at you, I want to watch the movie and go, and he could have it. Now, let me just put that on the side. He could definitely have that. But from the trailer, because he said 2 lines, two or 2.5 lines to be precise in this. I did not get Han Solo from the 2.5 lines at all. You see how my lighting went light and dark?
Oh, boy. You got to love that AI loving.
Yeah, exactly. So, to me, I just was like, okay, we'll have to wait and see. But the movie's coming out in 4 months, really. So, but you liked it.
But it is what it is. I just feel you're cannibalizing yourself, dude. At the beginning of that month, we've got Avengers, and 20 days later, we have this. Not a good idea, but hey, I'm not the head of Disney.
It's fine. To me, the movie should have been in December, or at least
own December, dude. You're owning December now. Just go back to December.
They've given Aquaman free reign in December. That's just, I mean, as long as hopefully Aquaman is solid, but they've given that a fighting chance in December now. The other so the next trailer I want to actually talk about is not a trailer, a teaser, is for
Infinity War.
Infinity War. Yeah, I mean, I was surprised that showed up, and I was
I knew it was
impressed,
coming.
man.
I knew it was coming, but I was disappointed. Like, I can understand you gave us, like they did with Solo. They gave us a 45-second spot on TV. Then the next day they dropped different footage with a little bit of the same footage that they showed from that one. Infinity War just gave us that 30-second spot. Mind you, it was all new footage and it looked really good, but I wanted more.
Trailer's dropping a Black Panther. That's why.
Okay. But damn, dude, next week we're getting Deadpool 2 on Wednesday. And then that Friday we'll get maybe another Infinity War trailer. And then they're saying next week we might get the freaking Venom because it's already been classified.
Mm-hmm.
That might be dropping next week too.
I think Venom will drop next week, but I think that Infinity War trailer, we're going to get the trailer is going to be more of the first trailer, some of this footage that we have, and then and you know, like the stopgap end footage where it's something brand new. It's going to be a mixture of like the 30-second spot plus the original trailer, plus, you know, something, just one shot that's, you know, brand new. But I mean, Infinity War, like, you know, so like Sam has said this. Sam is like, whoever cuts Disney's trailers needs to be given like a super raise, because Star Wars, the first Star Wars trailer, the first episode 7, the first trailer, you know, that first trailer, that teaser. Then you go to go to the second major Star Wars movie, episode 8. That first trailer, it was like, oh my god. And then you go to the Infinity War trailer, like that trailer was dope. Like literally, you know, Warner Brothers, just watch that or hire the person. I mean, it's kind of like how you hired Trailer Park Company to do the Suicide Squad trailer. That was a dope trailer too. That definitely was dope. You know, but that trailer to me just really hit the nail on the head. I liked it. I thought it was spot on. So for me, I think it was good. Next up is Jurassic World. I know we didn't put up your trailer reaction, but can you leave the way, please?
You gotta understand something, bro. My intention yesterday was to get back home by 6, but things happened and then it was storming really bad. So we kind of tried to let the storm die down before coming home. So I ended up walking in my door at 6:45, almost 7, put some stuff away, changed clothes, jumped on the computer, put everything else on mute. Okay, I got trailers to react to.
Oh yeah, definitely. My bad. I'm just okay, for me, I saw it and I was, you know, man, Jurassic Park, man. I'm not the biggest fan, so I'm just like, I was like, it was a good trailer, but it's a lot of dumbness.
But that's what all those movies are. Dumbness. I mean, let's be real. They're going back to the island to save some of the dinosaurs because the volcano crap, but yet they're in another lab creating shit that's looks like it's gonna eat a little girl. You know, it's like they kind of repeat the same steps. So we'll have to wait and see till the summertime. I enjoyed it because, you know, it's gonna be one of those dumb fun popcorn movies. Does it make 1.5 billion? I don't think so.
No, definitely not. But you know, it is what it is, man. You know, it was a nice trailer. I mean, unless you guys have a different opinion in the chat, but to me, I think, you know,
Dustin liked Skyscraper. He said it looked good, and then we have Jonathan says it's a really good Netflix movie.
I like Skyscraper, but you're right. You know, Skyscraper is not something that I may like. You know what? If I don't, it's what kind of movie that I will watch on Netflix on a heartbeat. Like I will watch it immediately, but I wouldn't go out
like
to go
you
see
did Cloverfield Paradox.
Yes, Cloverfield Paradox. Go to On Board. Check out our review of Cloverfield Paradox. It is right there. I'm going to just type it into the chat for you guys so you can see. And you can go check out On Board and check out Cloverfield Paradox. I'll give you my breakdown of the movie as well. But The review's up there. The trailer that I enjoyed the most, I know you maybe didn't really, was Mission Impossible Fallout. That was my trailer. That was, to me, I thought the best trailer yesterday.
Dude, but like I said in the reaction, what was all the hype about Mustache Gate? Is Henry Cavill the bad guy? Is he Ethan Hunt?
Yeah, he is. Ethan Hunt? He is. No, he's the bad guy.
But it seems,
he's a double agent.
I've realized that Mission Impossible is a different brand of Fast and Furious when it comes to stunts.
Oh, they're better than Fast and Furious because the stunts are real. Fast and Furious is CGI. That's the difference. Because we all know Tom Cruise was look. It's very simple. It's when you watch a Tom Cruise movie, when you watch a Jackie Chan movie, when they fall from something, that is them falling from something.
Yes, just like when he did that jump in the trailer, like, oh, that's where he broke his ankle.
Exactly, and we know that where he broke his ankle. So, but to me, I love the trailer because it's Mission Impossible. We know this. It's always a simple promise. It's a mission for it, but it's the stunts. Like the stunts they do, it's almost like the task for each thing's always difficult. And from all indications, it looks like Henry Cavill is a double agent in this movie. So I'm thinking that's why. I mean, that's why he had to maintain, his mustache forever.
I'm down. Well, I believe it was July 22nd. I'll be there to watch it. It looks good. I've enjoyed all the Mission Impossible movies, but I'm actually kind of tired of watching him on a goddamn motorcycle. That seems to be the running trope from him lately. Is he's on a motorcycle every movie?
No, he's only done 3 motorcycles out of all the Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah, the last 3.
No, number 2 and the last of 4 then. So 4 motorcycles. But yeah, I mean, look, but then again, he runs in every movie. So it's got to be a scene of Tom Cruise running like that. So,
oh, dude, but okay, Tom Cruise looks straight running. The Rock running in Skyscraper looked horrendous.
Well,
he was running in slow mo.
Remember, he's an amputee.
I understand that. But we know, dude, the guy from the Olympics ran faster than that. And he had both his knees amputated.
No, it's different, but he had special, it's completely different. He had special running blades. I've seen those blades in person. I was going to say physically, but I've seen them in person because they were developed in MIT. They're very different. It's a very different running with like amputee feet. You can run, people run marathons like that, but he's not built for that. So I get it. I get it why they intentionally slowed it down so that you see that he's not at his optimal peak as what he should be. But yeah, but Tom Cruise runs for a living. He runs in every movie he's in, so that's a normal thing.
But another thing, that's a Skyscraper. We're getting 2 movies from him this year. Is Rock going to start a trend where he's going to drop 2 movies a year?
Yeah, I mean, remember, look, every big superstar has done this. Will Smith used to do 2 movies a year, and then he cut it down to do 1 very big movie a year, right? Tom Cruise has done 2 movies in a year for a while. All this kind of thing. So it's something that he has to do because he's also trying to build himself out, and there's also building that massive wealth connection. Like if you can bank it, you bank it. He has 2 movies and a TV show, 2 movies and TV show, 2 movies and TV show, until the point where if he does say for instance, like with Shazam in production now, right? And he becomes a smash hit for Shazam, that changes things. Then he doesn't do 2 movies. He does big. Then he would do a small, more dramatic role. That's what always happens. Like it changes. Because right now, think about it. He doesn't have a franchise that calls him back. That is just him. Yes, there's Fast and the Furious, but it's not him. Ensemble, yeah. So, if he has a franchise that it's like, remember, look at Tom Cruise now. Tom Cruise does 1 movie a year or 1 movie every, it's because of Mission Impossible. He can come back that and he can decide I will do nothing that year except Mission Impossible. So once The Rock gets that franchise that he can come back to, or at least that level, then he doesn't have to in this respect. All right, let's get into some news. TV news quickly. Ernie Hudson to co-star with Gabrielle Union in the Bad Boys spin-off pilot.
He's the daddy.
Yeah, pretty much. He'll be playing her dad.
Well, that's true. He's also Martin Lawrence's dad, so I'm cool with it. I want to see what they do with it. I still feel they should have Will and Martin just make a quick cameo.
It would be nice, but I don't know. I think Will Smith is from what I'm gathering from Will Smith, he's done with certain things in his career, and he wants to move forward. Which I don't blame him, because some of his franchises don't necessarily work, and he's proven they don't work well coming back, like Independence Day and stuff like that. So I get it. I get that aspect with him. But Bad Boys is the one that he would like to come back to. That's the one thing we know about that one. We also know that the Leftovers director will helm the first HBO's pilot for Watchmen. Leftovers has some very good directing. Also, there is rumblings of if you guys like the show Martin is coming back. I like Martin. It was a good show, but we'll see how it turns out. But that should be coming back.
Right before starting a few hours ago, Amazon is producing a Conan the Barbarian TV show.
Oh boy, who's gonna be Conan?
Don't know yet. It's still the early stages. I saw it. I'm like, okay, I might be able to get behind that.
A TV show, yeah, TV show. To me, it was a TV show with
Arnold,
Jason Momoa instead of the movie, because the movie they went the wrong way. They should have actually used him in a TV show, not a movie. I thought that would have been done better. Movie news. Bad Boys 3 is eyeing new directors and production start August, which fits into Will Smith's schedule a little bit and maybe not. The reason I say that is because he's about to start, or he just started shooting the Gemini movie with Ang Lee, where he plays a contract killer who is battling against his younger self. So that's shooting now. That starts now in Australia, because I've seen him in his social media. He's in Australia, and he's been out there, so that kind of makes sense. Word on the street is that Suicide Squad is starting shooting around August as well.
Oh,
now the reason I am excited for Suicide Squad is it's going to be written and directed by the director of The Accountant. Have you seen The Accountant?
Yeah, Garrett. Crap. I just watched Heroes today, and they were talking about it. The guy's good. He's writing and directing. So
yeah. Now,
I like
if he's writing and directing it, so that's why I'm like, okay, I need to see that happen, because he could make it a bit grittier. He can still, remember, The Accountant had its own form of humor. There was humor in that movie, even though Ben Affleck didn't crack a single joke. It's just based on what the character was like. Because everybody said Accountant was Batman if he was autistic. That's pretty much it.
I heard that, and I agreed somewhat. Like I said, I thought the movie was actually really good.
Yeah. So
I popped it on one day, and I was like, okay, I'm feeling this. Yeah.
Yeah. So so with the start date for Bad Boys, unless of course it's something where his role in Suicide Squad has certain shoot times, like, they can probably schedule it, but he might not have to. He may actually have to start with one and come back and leave. It depends on how they want to do that kind of stuff, but we'll see how that turns out. Emily Blunt joins Dwayne Johnson in Disney's Jungle Cruise.
That's gearing to start shooting. Based on a Disney ride.
Okay, that's shooting pretty soon.
But here's some interesting news that dropped over the weekend. I didn't add it but Sony's thinking about selling.
Yeah. Thinking about selling some franchise. So they was thinking about selling, and also now there's word that they might be selling some of their franchises instead. But it's because right now Well, right now the market is, look, when Disney went on and decided to buy Fox, it put a lot of pressure on a lot of studios. So remember, we talked about this in the weekly. CBS and Viacom are looking to merge, basically combining Star Trek together as one, both TV and movie universes. So Sony is also probably looking and saying, okay, what should we do in this space? You know.
But see, here's another thing that pissed. Well, it kind of ruffled my feathers a little bit. But now Comcast is trying to come back into the mix to topple whatever Disney threw at Fox. It's like, dude, let's be real. No one wants to be merged with you. You've already got Universal, and you ain't doing that good of a job with them. Stay out of the way.
Well, they want to. They want to, because what it is that
what the mouse wants, the mouse gets. The mouse has an endless amount of money because they know how to make money back. Comcast,
Comcast,
no, they
Comcast
don't.
Has a lot of money. Yes,
they may have a lot of money, but you know what? They suck as a cable provider.
That has nothing to do with whether they have a lot of money or not. That's what I'm just saying. But that's the thing. Just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean that because look, in business, it's what you're willing to pay. So the reason Apple has the most amount of money, right? Apple doesn't buy everybody like everybody does. Apple had enough money to buy WhatsApp. They had enough money to buy Oculus and all these people. They didn't buy them.
Apple has a lot of money because they don't buy nothing.
Yeah, I mean, that's just it. But they have a lot of money. It's all a matter of what you think is value for what you want to get. And if Comcast is coming in, Comcast is looking at this and saying, hey, if we can come in and create and merge Universal, bring all those franchises together, and then we can source them early. If you're a Comcast user, right, you now get early access. Like, you don't even say for instance, like Comcast could literally say, if you pay an extra $20 a month, you don't go to the movie theater.
Oh, that's never gonna happen.
I'm just saying, no, they will have to. Don't ever say never.
They will have plans like that. But that means movie theaters are gonna take such a huge hit, so it's not gonna happen.
It's gonna happen in a way where they will say it's early access and you will pay. There are ways they can restructure these things. It's not as difficult as it sounds. You see, remember, Movie Pass was never supposed to happen.
Oh boy, let's not get started on the Movie Pass.
But it's happening.
Yeah, it's happening, but they're crooks.
But what?
Movie Passes they're now a bunch of crooks. They want to go in and they're trying to strong arm the movie theater chains into getting a cut of the concessions and box office prices. No, bro. You created a model. You didn't consult these theaters. Like, I literally, since I am a Movie Pass subscriber, I got an email about a week and a half ago saying, hey, you can't use your Movie Pass at these 6 AMC locations. One of them is in my area, which I used to go to. So if I decided to go to that theater, now I can't. At least not with Movie Pass. So, Movie Pass.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but that's what it is. So we'll have to see. And then of course there's the news of DC plan to sabotage Black Panther, Rotten Tomato. That is not. I'll put it this way. I would say this again. Those are not DC fans. Those are not comic book fans. Those are just idiots completely.
Yes,
the news I'd rather like to hear is the DC fan who's trying to raise money for people to go
see Black Panther.
Watch kids in lower
income
communities go watch Black Panther. Now that is something he has a GoFundMe page. I'll put it up. To me, that's the kind of stuff like, yeah, whether you like Black Panther or not, whether you're not a fan or you're not, if somebody wants it to help other people enjoy entertainment, that's fine. I mean, it's all good. There's no need for silliness with.
Yes, there's no need for all the hate, dude.
Don't watch DC. Don't watch Justice League. Don't buy Justice League, the Blu-ray. You want to sabotage something? That's what you shouldn't buy. That's what you shouldn't watch.
Yeah, save that money until the extended cut comes out, the Snyder version.
Yeah, I mean, now that we know that, I mean, from all indications, like there was a Snyder cut of
There is a
epic
Snyder cut.
proportions.
There is a
Yeah,
Snyder cut
so
because that's the movie they tested. So that cut is done. It might have needed some color correctioning, but it's done. Schnepp brought it up today. That's the movie they used to test. That was the movie that, had its mixed reviews, but yet Warner Brothers knew that it was going to do bad, but yet they still managed to do well for the year. Go figure.
hey. No, because you remember they had movies that did well for them. Wonder Woman did well. It had
Wonder
a bunch
Woman.
Of movies. All the horror movies have been doing well. That's the reason why the horror guy is in head. Like he's taking their horror section. The best horror movie, remember, It is also Warner Brothers. Remember, so Warner Brothers has had the best horror movies in the last couple of years. Other than Get Out as a horror movie, everything else that's done well. The Conjuring movies, Part 1 and 2, all horror. Annabelle, all Warner Brothers. So that division has done well.
You make them for the cheap, and then they make so much more money in returns.
Yeah, but they also make good. Like the thing about it, when you watch them, I watched part of The Conjuring. I'm not like a big horror fan. I was on TV, but I was watching. I was like, oh, this shit is Mel. That's where James Wan took off from. When you watch it, you're like, this is a well-made movie. Like it's just well-made, and you're like, okay, that's when you want, because if it's well-made, you want to watch it, even if you don't like the genre. You go, oh, let me check it out. If it's not well-made, you just even wouldn't care. You don't even bother about it. So that's why I said they have that on point, and they know. So hopefully, like I just hope in that section for whatever they do is hopefully that they've decided, okay, now you have Shazam in play. Let the director do what he wants to do. The only movie I have faith in right now is Wonder Woman 2.
I have faith in Aquaman.
No, I have faith in Aquaman. I'm saying in the sense that that's the only movie I know that they will not go and mess with Patty Jenkins. That's the only one I can safely tell you that. Because number one, Patty and Gal Gadot will talk, or they will drop hints. And number two, you don't want to mess with what already has worked well. Remember, James Wan, even though he's done well on other things, and remember he directed Fast and Furious, by the way, that also made a lot of money. So he knows how to make blockbuster movies. But
wasn't he the one that also had to deal with the death of Paul Walker?
I think so. No, that was James Wan.
Was it Wand? I could have swore it was Wand. It was one of them. Who was the other one that did one of them? I can't remember. I know we have Juan, and then F. Gary Gray did the last one.
It was another Asian director. It wasn't James Wan. So he did Fast 7, Furious 7. Was that's Paul
the
Walker's
one?
Death? That was.
Yes.
Okay, then yeah, that's the one. That was good though. That's a rough one to do.
Because they had that long gap, and then they weren't sure if they were going to come back and finish the movie. So he kept that together. Granted, so did Vin, but that was hard to finish because then they got the Walker brothers to finish filling in. So he went through some stuff on that one.
Oh yeah, no, he did, and I think it's pretty solid on that respect. But anyway, let's get into the shows. So I didn't watch all the shows.
One thing before we continue, can we please just pay Maggie from The Walking Dead? This whole stupid scale of men make more than women. She's been around since day one. Well, no, since season 2. Pay her what she's due. Don't give her some little 2% raise where the other two idiots are making a shit ton more money. She carries the show just as well. Since you guys already killed off Carl, you damn morons. Why that show is failing.
I'm done with Walking Dead, man. You can.
So am I. I don't watch it no more. I have a buddy that fills me in. When he told me that they killed Carl, I was like, why? It's his story.
Why am I watching this again? Yeah.
It's stupid. But, okay, please tell me you at least watch Star Trek.
I am only 33 minutes into Star Trek. It's like here.
Oh my lord! You could have. Oh, dude!
I'm traveling. Just been a rough weekend day. I thought I was good, and then I've been watching Altered Carbon in between, so that's
How far are
why
you
as
on
well.
that?
I'm on episode 8 or 9 in Altered Carbon.
Okay, you're way further than me. I'm on episode 5. Have episode 5 paused. I'm liking
Okay,
it so far.
so let's talk about Altered Carbon. Let's talk about the first 4 episodes of Altered Carbon because what I'm going to do with Altered Carbon. I'll drop my review this week. I'll record it while I'm traveling, and then try edit and put it up. So okay, what's your take? What's your take on the show? Since you're 4 episodes behind, you can start off first.
I'm intrigued because what if that's a way that they try to do the future for humanity? You never die. They like implant that memory thing in the back of your neck and stuff like that, and go from there.
So, you remember what I told you? I've been listening to this sci-fi book series for the
Uh huh.
last year. That is pretty much what that book series had. Um, so for me, it was really cool to see a show do some of that where uh, people are, people can live forever. But what's weird about Altered Carbon is the fact that, like, remember from the very first episode 1, when he gets out of the prison and he's looking for who released him, and then that old white lady walks up to the Asian lady and she's like, "Mommy," and then the parents are like, "What the hell is this?" Like, and you
Oh.
get that so the thing about the show is okay, let me give a premise for Alter Carbon is it takes place in the distant future, so about 300-400 years in the future. Mankind has found a way for you to download your consciousness into a chip which is implanted in the base of your skull at age 1. And at that point, when you die, you can be revived into a synth, which is basically, or a sleeve, as they like to call it, which is just a body. Now you can go from body to body. It does not matter. It takes some getting used to, of course, with the new body and stuff like that.
Like you just said,
You know.
dude, the last episode, the cop lady put her grandmother into the tattoo freak. She's acting like a woman, but in a man's body. It was like, yo, this is
Yeah.
wild.
She's like, "Oh, das míos." It's like grandchildren come here. But it's a lot of stuff like that. And um, some of the things that it focuses on is like what happens. You get to an episode where you see children go from being a child and then put into an adult's body. What does that do to someone's psyche? What do you think about that, right? Like, is that person an adult now? Because when you get into a body, you have to get used to the body. So whatever the body state is, the hormones, the drives, all those kind of things, you have to get used to what that body is at that state. So if it's an adult body, it's the same thing. And it's a very interesting world. The rich are not mega rich; they are filthy rich. They can buy planets.
Yo, homeboy is
You know,
rich. And then you seen how
yeah,
he had, well, I believe it was episode 3 where he showed like he's got his own vault of bodies cloned
of
already, ready
course,
for him to go.
yeah, yeah, and
Yo,
no, it's a very interesting world. It's a very so I know some people have complained they didn't like it. It's very deep sci-fi, and to me, it's not as deep as people claim it to be.
oh,
It's the kind of sci-fi where the only what you're seeing is the surface layer of this world. You're seeing the aspect of saying, this is how. So, for instance, the book I read, and if you want to read it, trust me, you will see a lot of these concepts and more. It's called the Commonwealth Saga. The Commonwealth Saga, the Void series, and the Abyss of the Void by an author called P.F. Hamilton. He doesn't talk much about this. In his world, this is not with not Alter Carbon, but in his world, it starts off where humans, when you die, you can go into nobody dies anymore. When you die, it's called I forgot what it's called. You call it relife. So you can relife somebody into their own clones. And then in the future, instead of you, in that world, it took a while initially for clones to get grown to normal size, right? And then it went from you could be relife your clones was instant. And then they now have things where they call bionautics. Humans can never die because you've got these integral force fields built into you so that unless you were blasted by some big cannon or something, like you could live forever pretty much, like 1,000 years and more and be done.
Oh, the show is good.
Yeah.
It's an interesting plot. And it's based off of some book. I don't know what book. But I saw that, and then to what you just said, the people I've seen they're complaining about whitewashing because he was an Asian in the very first episode, well, partially Asian, but then now he's white, dude. I mean, it's body swapping.
No, that's what I was afraid of first, but not the whitewashing, but just what people would say. But when you really watch the show, you realize that this is a world where unless you are rich enough, that's the only way you can maintain your original form. Other than that, I think from the very beginning, when you see that husband and wife, it was a white father, an Asian mom, and the daughter was relived into a sleeve, a body, and they gave the daughter, this is a young girl, maybe less than 10, into a body of a 67-year-old
woman.
That's how the world is. So that shows you how messed up it has nothing. And when you watch more episodes, you see jumping to a different body is not even the matter. It's like, it's what attachments do you have with that body? Now, there are people in this world who choose not to relive on religious belief because they believe that your soul should go to heaven or wherever the place may be. And that brings up a question, like, now, if man has now found a way to capture the essence of somebody into a chip, what does that say for your soul? Is that really your soul that's captured? Is that really you, or is that just part of you that's being pulled? Like, that's the kind of esoterical questions you can start asking from the show. It's like, is that really you, or is that just a part of you that is kept by? Because if you start losing attachments to your physical form, then whatever body you're in is just whatever your body you're in.
Yep. It's like, dude, I'm curious to know how much money they paid, because this show got some effects.
It's well done. It's very, very well done.
It's well done. But it's a good show. Now, you watched last week's Star Trek, I take it.
Yeah, I did. That was dope.
So
you're right. That definitely could be a season finale. It could definitely be a season finale.
It could have been a season finale, but I'm going to say this episode this week is a little slow, but it's a penultimate episode. You know how those normally go, unless it's Game of Thrones.
True.
But the ending in this one, woo-wee! Boy, when I tell you, for those who watched it, they know what I'm talking about. Okay. It's gonna be like, yeah. Okay, I like how they classified the whole stupid mirror universe, which explains why you'll never really touch on it in the later series. Makes sense. I don't know if you've gotten there yet, but you'll get there.
No, I haven't gotten there yet. No.
And then Philippa Georgiou, the Mirror Universe one, she says some stuff that's like, oh, I could teach you how to beat the Klingons. And then at that ending, you're going to be like, okay. So next week, it's going to be a nice plane ride back for you, bruh.
Okay. All right, cool.
I might have to put it in the drive for you so you can watch that on the plane.
All right. I definitely have to check that out. I mean, Star Trek to me has been dope, man. I don't care what anybody says. That's been one of the best shows this season, like hands down the best shows this season, by far.
Dude. I mean, I believe you saw the one scene where they dropped out of warp, seen the messed up base, and then jumped right back into warp. Like,
nope.
Oh, it's visually.
I'm heading there. I'm heading there right now. Like literally, if I hit fast forward, it will go to the base and then I would see all that.
But it's like, yo, they put some serious money into this, so they knew what they were doing. I like what they're doing. I don't care what anybody else says. I'm enjoying this Star Trek series for what it is. It's fun. What they do is what they do. Now let's go talk some Supergirl.
I watched Supergirl. It was actually cool to see the suit, Lex Luthor suit, though. I wouldn't lie. Like at first, I was like, okay. It was cool to see the suit. It was a bad episode. It was. You know what? I come to realize that when this season, if it's not Supergirl centric, it's actually not bad.
Well, you do know that this is her last episode for a minute.
Yeah. So it was a decent episode. I liked what they did with the episode. Even though like the action sequence again just didn't make sense. Not didn't make sense. Some of the things Supergirl did, like there's one thing that you see Lena's mom pull out the kryptonite blade or beam or whatever. You can clearly see it's green. You still fly forward. That's when you use your heat vision from a distance, your freeze breath. She still fly like.
Oh no! The beginning of the episode. Oh my god! When she had that dream of the other world killers,
yeah,
the two in the background look like you could tell they shot that with dolls because they look like dolls, and I was like. Did they use dolls? What the hell? Oh my god, that looks so bad.
Yeah. Anyway, but the last show I watched was Black Lightning. I have not watched Flash. I have not watched Arrow. I will say Black Lightning was funny at certain points, especially when she told the parents that she was about to have sex. I was like. You remember when the dad was like, are we being too liberal, or we just sound like most folks say we sound like that's some white people stuff, man. Come on, let's just be real. I was like, yeah, that is very true. Very true.
Yo, I don't know, man. It's like if my daughter told me, "Oh, I'm about to have sex," and it's Saturday, the hell you ain't.
Yeah, I mean. I like the spin they're doing in Black Lightning. I know it's a very look for this. That's not a traditional Black family, at least from what I know. You don't necessarily have parents being that liberal, but they're trying to find a balance there with it, which I found interesting. So I thought that was actually pretty cool to see in that respect.
Well, since you didn't watch Flash was good. A good episode. Barry gets in trouble at the end, which leads to where we're going Tuesday.
Okay.
And then what's her name is making her comeback this week as well. Battlestar Galactica, freaking Starbuck.
Yeah, poorly used in Flash. Poorly used.
Well, hey, she's not a series regular on there, so you get what you could get from her. Katie Stackhoff.
Yeah, I know. Kate Sackhoff is a great actress, but
yeah,
I wish. You know what? I wish she was in. Oh, she would fit so well in Star Trek. Discovery.
Oh, she'd be. Ooh, yeah, she would dominate though.
Exactly. No, I'm loving seeing Michelle Yeoh in this show because I wanted to see her more, and when she died initially, I was like, oh, I guess she was just guest appearance.
Well, wait till you see the ending.
Oh, okay. All right. I mean, I love Michelle Yeoh. I think she's a great actress. So it's really nice to see her used in this to a large degree, which I think is on point.
And then Arrow, Arrow is hit or miss this season so far. This episode was good, but there was a major death.
And I heard there was a major death. Yeah.
I don't think they can bring him back, and it leads up to something that's going to happen. I think down the line in in like 2 or 3 episodes going forward, a showdown between the two canaries. But it's Arrow. Let's be real. I mean, Arrow needs to make up their mind what they really want to do. And then Agents of Shield. Oh man, so good.
Did I? What episode number is Agents of Shield? Did I watch it or not?
Did you watch last week's? You might be 2 episodes behind.
Last week was what date? I didn't watch. No, I didn't watch it. That was the second.
The second, yes.
Ah, I missed that one. God, man. Come on, what's wrong with me, man?
Well, you're going to be on a long flight. You could watch it on the plane. Download it and watch it.
Yeah, that's true.
But no, it was a good episode because now they're on a break for the month of February. Okay. They won't be back until March 2nd, I believe it is.
Oh, man.
And then the same thing with all the other shows. I think the only shows that we will have to discuss will be Black Lightning and Legends of Tomorrow.
Legends, yeah.
Because of the stupid Olympics. Like, I don't care about the Olympics.
I do. I like Olympics, but not winter. I prefer summer Olympics. That's just me.
Yeah, we got to deal with that crap now. So it is what it is. But other than that, okay. I don't have. You just need to go watch Star Trek, man. You got about 20 minutes left. Oh boy, that ending will be like, oh snap, could it be? So yeah, and then I saw something that Shatner, the original Captain Kirk, is down to come back, and they might CGI him to look younger. Oh, but they can't get Spock.
They will use if they were to they'll use Zachary Quinto, and they'll just age him older. Because in terms of mannerism, he does it spot on. So,
okay, but I also heard we might be getting Teen Titans this summer.
Yeah, it's coming.
So, be on the lookout for that. Anything else you want to touch on?
I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Well, thanks guys for watching. Dustin says, "Yeah, I can't wait for Legion too. I enjoyed Legion. Legion is funky, but I think they still nailed it. It's a little trip on its own, just because the dude is more powerful than anybody out there, right, in the universe. So it makes sense."
We didn't talk about Westworld.
Oh, the trailer. It's as crazy as it should be. It's just straight up like, yeah, all craziness ensued. So
April 22nd.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for Westworld's, and again, it's HBO week after week. So Westworld, we'll be doing our Westworld show for you guys. We did that last year. We did it on Onboard, right? Or we'll be doing it on Booredatwork this year. So here's the thing. Our entertainment channel Onboard is much smaller. We got like 4,000 subscribers. And Booredatwork, we do a lot of stuff here on Booredatwork, but we would like to decide where we want to put some of these shows. Like this show, for instance, should be there, but we get better traffic here. So we want you guys to do that. Oh, yes, you mentioned Cloverfield. Yes, thank you, Mr. Ingram813. So like I said, go watch my Cloverfield review. I'm not going to spoil it. There was spoilers in that one. Cloverfield Paradox is a movie that takes place in the year 2028.
See, that's the thing with this Cloverfield stuff, man. It's all over the place. 3 different movies, 3 different settings. I heard your review, and you can't kind of touch on it, but it's like, are they going to find a way to gel all of them together?
This movie brings everything together. It's a paradox for a reason. The movie takes place in 2028. There's a crisis for resources, and they have like the halogen collider. There's a halogen, sorry. The collider that's built out in Europe. They built one in space to test it out to basically help solve the energy problems. So when you watch the movie, at the very beginning of the movie, there's a scientist saying that don't do this. I hope not. I hope I'm wrong, but I think when you do this, this will wreck reality as we know it. And basically, to sum it up, you know what the Flash likes to do? Flash likes to mess up multiverses, right? Constantly. That's what this did.
Oh,
so whatever movie you watched, all that happened from the paradox itself.
The end was the best part.
Yeah, the end was the most exciting part. But if you look at it this way, the movie, what happened in this movie caused what happened to happen in the first movie and the second movie, even though they don't look like they're connected. And even what you saw at the end, Mr. Ingram 813, is not the world that is in part one, but because there's a paradox. So in the movie, they talk about multiverses, I'll call it that, right? But they use only two. In reality, it's actually multiple universes. And the experiments cause a lot of harm. Let's put it this way. What they did as an experiment wrecked all multiverses in Cloverfield. So basically, any movie that comes out in the Cloverfield universe happened because of what? Cloverfield Paradox. That's it.
Okay.
So part one that we saw, which was the creature that landed in New York City, out of nowhere, was because of experiments that happened in part three, which is somewhere else. Doesn't matter. Because it's like anything in the multiverse, right? Think about Flash. Flash can affect something in the future that will affect the past because he changed something. So that's the same thing with this. If you take it as a Flash principle,
I get it.
You haven't watched the first one, right? You haven't.
I did watch the first one. I just don't care for the Cloverfield franchise.
Dude, you need to watch. Okay, since you've been watching sci-fi movies, watch this one because it's not the same thing. It's very different from the first two. The second one is more like a horror movie because it's very closed, but it's still tied to the universe. The third one is more like a sci-fi movie. Let me see. They accidentally went to a different Cloverfield and also caused monsters to show up. Yes. Since you've already spoiled it in the chat, so I'll just put it out there. The experiments they had.
Because he's like, why don't they do a proper Cloverfield sequel? This movie doesn't make sense. And that's what it kind of feels like.
No. Okay, let me. Okay, so you know what? I'm just gonna just tell you guys what it is because it sounds like people are not getting it. It's simple. In the year 2028, they had an experiment with this. It's called the Shepherd's Collider, which should provide energy. They turn the machine on, and they disappear from Earth. They're in space, but they disappear. What happens is their universe collided with all the universes together that are in this multiverse, right? And now that causes things to mix match. So in the movie, they have 6 people on the space station. Next minute, they hear noises. A woman is trapped in between the wall of the space station. Where did she come from? You realize she's from the other multiverse, and she basically when it's collided like that. Then in their own world,
is that the hand that they showed in the trailer? Like
the hand is something else.
Okay,
it's something else, but it's not the hand of the person who you think it is. It's his hand, but from a different universe.
This is so trippy.
It's not trippy. It literally is. The thing about it is that sci-fi tells us that when something happens in multiverse like Flash, it's very finite, right? If this happened, then this will happen. In reality, no, it's chaos. So when they collided universes together, it means they open a hole in the universe where there are monsters now on their Earth, where they started the experiment. There was monsters showed up. But that's the year 2028. The original movie is what year?
10 years ago.
10 years ago. So which is 2008. Yeah. So multiverses also, when you collide, you rip space and what? Time. So it doesn't matter what time period it is. So they really just messed up everything for everyone. That's why so a lot of people think it's harder. It's just really if you look at it as experiment, as you have multiverses and everything just collides, then you can create chaos anywhere. And that's what it is. And that's why I said it's a sci-fi movie where it's like, this one is more sci-fi, telling you what caused Cloverfield to happen as a whole. So technically they can go back and make a direct sequel to the first movie, but this movie
I think
is
that's
actually
what it's leading to.
Exactly. But see, this movie is made to say that this is what caused everything that you've seen happen. It's a prequel, more or less, than else.
I thought the plot is interesting, but halfway through, I was like, this is a sci-fi movie with Cloverfield added.
I mean, to a certain degree, it is, because that's what they've been. Also, again, the concept of Cloverfield has been adapting stories to fit into Cloverfield, if you understand that well. The original movie was a short script. The second movie was another this was another movie that they adapted to. And the third movie. So that's how they've been doing Cloverfield. So I don't fault them for that, because to kind of do that is a hard thing. It's not easy to take something else and say, because this is a different movie it was written by somebody for something else. And then they adapted it into this. And to me, the adaptation makes sense, because if your premise is there's a multiverse and you crash all multiverses together, chaos ensues. And that's what we have in Cloverfield.
But let's be real, bro. Netflix done dropped it on these fools by saying, yep, we bought it. And then you know what? After this game is over, bam, it's out.
Oh, it's great. It's great marketing by Netflix. A lot of people watched it yesterday. It's a fun sci-fi movie. At the end of the day, it really is a fun movie. Like, trust me, I say, also, when I say Lou, watch it, the reason I say watch it, even if you never watched the first two Cloverfields, it doesn't even matter. That's the
thing with this.
No, you don't need it. It doesn't take away from the stories. It actually, if you want to go see the other ones, you could see it, but it just tells you what exactly happens. So I like stories like that where you can watch it or not watch it, but it's not like you're forced to watch it.
But see, now this is the interesting point. Is Netflix dropping the fourth part on October?
I think it is, yeah.
Because, dude, that came out of left field. How they dropped their little 30 seconds promo spot and then tune in after the game, bam. If they got 10 million people to watch this movie, they done had $100 million blockbuster on their hand.
Yeah.
So,
and I think the reason why the one in October is coming out in October is Netflix owns both. And I think also maybe to a certain degree, the one in October is also this movie, chopped into two. It might have been a longer script, and they just kind of like chopped it, and they looked at one, they're like, and Netflix is like, we'll buy it, and we'll buy both. To me, that makes more sense.
Could be. Jonathan says, once you go Netflix, you can't go back to the theater.
Yes, we can.
Man.
Yes,
I think you can.
But yeah, that's it, guys. Anyway, I broke it down for you. Thanks for watching, everyone. Definitely subscribe to the channel. Check out On Board for our trailer reactions. If you want another breakdown of Cloverfield Paradox, it's on Board. Subscribe and always enjoy entertainment.